Hello guys, welcome, Giant King here. So today I'm going to cover some of the tips that'll help you start off your Hearthstone. What you want to do, first thing is, use every single class. Yeah, go through either on casual or ranked mode, it doesn't really matter too much. Use every single class there is, just so you get a feel of what they're all like. That way you can get to know what will suit you best. I mean, I really thought I'd be using warrior. I was really excited to use the warrior. So I got to fight two warriors. Or no, you only had to beat one warrior. So beat the warrior, you get to use it. And then played with all the others, and I really found I preferred the mage. And then I started developing everything from there. Obviously, paladin I've used quite a bit as well. But get a feel for them all. See what first suits you. Okay. Next thing is learn the cards, alright? Learn the cards that every single class has and the ones for all classes, alright? I don't mean learn what costs what mana to give you this attack, that attack, but just general know what each class has kind of got in it for, you know, what abilities they have, chances are what people are going to bring out and how you're going to counter it. So if you know paladins, chances are they've got a lot of heals on them. You know, they have loads of heal things. They have creatures that do heals. They have cards that do heals. They also have weapons and so forth. So, if my thing is, if I know I find it fighting a either paladin or warrior, I'll always save my acidic, swamp oozes or whatever. I'll always save them just in case, if I've got them in my deck, that is. If not, if I'm fighting like a mage or warlock or something like that doesn't have weapons really, or really never will use one. I mean, the hunter has a weapon as well, so save on to them because they're gonna bring it out. They're gonna bring out this true silver, so you can use that to disperse it. So just generally learn what kind of tricks and traits the other players have, and how you're planning to counter them all, because you do play them all, obviously, because it's always mixed. Next thing, start learning who the top players are in the game. Look on YouTube and so forth, Google. You got Nimsh, Kriparian, Artosis, Trump, Strife Crow, Ecop, all these kind of guys. Learn what they're doing, see what kind of decks they've got, because chances are someone you're playing is going to have a copy of that or some kind of variant of it. I mean, that way you can learn the names of all the kind of decks, and when people build that, and also that helps you build your own deck as well, and then you can start to mix and match what you like and so forth, rather than going here, there and everywhere and it not being so fluent and nice to go with. Alright, so next tip, obviously, so the first two tips there, I'll just quickly reiterate. Use all the classes, learn the cards, and learn what the top guys are doing and what their kind of deck builds are. Okay, next tip is learn all the powers. Okay, so what I mean by powers is you have your taunts, you've got your stealth, you've got your secrets, you've got things that are immune, you've got divine shield, you've got battle cry, something happens when the card's been placed down, or you got death rattle, something happened when the card dies. You got things, where's my mage? You have many things like, mana worms, these gain attack when a spell happens, but you've got other things that gain attack when something dies, or something like this, or a beast gets spawned, and other things. You got to read it. All the cards have something different. Loads of things do freezes, or well, there's the example of a death rattle. When he dies, a golem spawned, a 2/1 golem spawned. So that's a great card. Okay, so basically learn all the things. If you don't, all right. So the next thing is your deck construction. If you're trying to build your own deck, because I find construction the best. It's a lot more fun to play than arena. Okay, basically, two things. Don't make it too low end. Don't have 4 being your highest and a million 2s, 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s all the way down. Because chances are when you're nearing end game, because you've been able to pull out so many minions throughout your early game, you know, because say you've got 5 mana, that way you can, I can pull this 2 and a 3 out. Next thing, I can pull this 3 and a 3 out. You know, chances are the enemy's going to have something that'll board clear, or they've got something pretty strong that you're going to have to use all your creatures on, try and kill that one thing. Yeah, which will pretty suck. And by the time it's near an end game, you've got no cards left because you pulled them all out early on. He's been able to counteract them all and or heal up or kill them all off in one-ers. And then you're basically waiting on the next card. You know, waiting for the draw. Shit, it's a 2. Shit, it's a 3. Well, of course it's going to be that because you've got so many of them. You're not going to have some kind of a game finisher. Okay. Next thing is, don't make it too top heavy. Don't have shit tons of 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, or you know, 5 being your lowest, because chances are, right at the beginning of the game, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, they've already established things on the board. They've already started knocking away at you, and if you're pulling things out, you know, if you're turn 5 time and you're constantly pulling 6, 7s, 8s, 9s out, or even 10s, depending if you've got some things out, you know, if you've got your giants. Where are we looking? Yeah, so if you've got some of these bad boys, or quite a lot of them, chances are you're going to be pulling them out at a non-needed stage. So have it nicely mixed, all right? You need your big finishes, things that can mess stuff up, but you need all your low stuff, you know, the board clearers kind of thing, just to get rid of some early hassle, I should say. Just especially knife throwers. Now you need to be able to kill them off quick as you can. So that's what you got. You got your low end minions, some quick board clearers. Okay, so that's pretty simple, standard. Right, the next thing is you want things that can give you cards. Like example, Nat Pagel's fantastic. You want things, yeah, stuff that'll feed your cards, but also have something on the board, right? Because you can get plenty of cards that'll give you cards. Like, yeah, I could use the Arcane Intellect that uses 3 mana to give me 2 cards. So technically, I'm using 3 mana to gain 1 card because that's a card already. And I'm using 3 mana to get a card. So I might as well use that 3 mana to have this guy is on the board, and he's got potential to give me more than 1 extra card, because I can pull him out and then shoot him my fireball as well, so knock him down to 2. The enemy's got to kill him anyway, so that's 2 cards off a minion, which one, he'll be taking damage off the enemy rather than your main guy, your hero, taking damage. So he's going to absorb the damage, or he can deal some damage just to get rid of some crap that's on the board. So pretty handy. So take that on board. If you're using a mage, do not use the Arcane Intellect, because that's a waste of the 3 mana when you can bring something out onto the board. Okay. Also try and have things that will board clear big mobs. Yeah, everyone likes the big mobs because they look amazing, they're cool, they're great finishers. So you want something that can instantly get rid of it, like Paladin's Equality and Consecration or whatever, just to get rid of it. As soon as it's put onto the board, you want to be able to get rid of that straight. So that's one thing to remember. So try and have something that'll get rid of some big threats. Okay. Next one is, don't use up all your cards straight away. Okay. So the first 4 or 5 turns, hopefully you can, even if you've just chucked 2 things down and use your hero power in the time it's done 4 turns, because that way you've been able to save your cards for later on, because that's when it really matters, is when it starts getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. The first 4 turns is kind of just getting a bit of a foothold, doing a bit of damage, you know, probably up to 5, 6 damage on the first 3 or 4 turns, maybe a tad bit more. But don't use up all your assets. Don't be using everything you can as quick as you can, all your magics, all your traps, all that kind of stuff early on. You want to save that for the bigger threats so you can get rid of theirs and then put yours on. Right? Next thing is, have some kind of defense, have something with a taunt. I don't have that many in this. I've got the two Sun Walkers. I've got a Faceless Manipulator, which can be taunt, but also I can just quickly get rid of some of theirs anyway. That's why I like the mage. It's got some cool stuff. It can get rid of some stronger enemies, and also his Frostbolt can be used to get rid of some stronger enemies. Plus, he's got the Azora Drake, which gives it a +1 if I need to up the ante on my Frostbolts, or the Blood Mage is cool as hell. Okay, so that's another thing. There you go. Don't use all your cards straight away. Save it up. Right, next thing that goes straight on to is the coin. Okay, if you're lucky enough to go second, save that coin for when it matters, because you want to be bringing out something high end earlier on. Like, I like to do a turn 7 Ragnaros, just because Ragnaros always does something. He's one of the best legendaries, because if you're pulling out anything else, you generally got to wait a turn before it could do anything. This guy is an instant threat straight away, and even if the guy's got 5 taunt things all across, and he's there sat with 8 health, and he's sat there with 5 things with taunts, this can randomly shoot the main guy and kill it and win it, which is done for me a few times, and more than a few times. I've won so many games with just Ragnaros. He's the best guy ever. Okay, if you can have something that'll give you life, or a lot of things give you life for a lot of other classes. Okay, Mage doesn't have such stuff. It only has some secrets that give you shields. It's not life, but it's shields. So that's why I use Alistraza. It just gives me, if I'm running low, I can get him up and knock my right up to 15 health again. Plus I use two where the hell are you? Ice things. So that saved my life 1,000 times. Makes me immune a couple times. Okay, so try and find something that gives you health. Save the coin for early heavy minion bring outs. Okay, what's the reward set? I don't want that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's how to learn what people are doing quick. Just learn what the best people are doing. Use them all. Use all the cards. Learn all the sort of abilities that things do. Have a good general gist of it. Learn how to construct your decks properly, so you're not getting taken out with ridiculous things just because you're never pulling out what you need. And try and double up. Try and double up your cards. That's another good tip. Most things, you don't want one of everything, because chances are you're putting that card in your deck because you need it, right? So you want to have 2 of them in it. So it's 2 of them inside your deck. So chances are you're gonna get it, because there's no point in it having one of a million things, because that's not very tactical. You want it because you need it. Right? There's so many cards to choose from, but that's why you really need to narrow it down and know what you actually do need. Okay, but hopefully these little tips help you out. They have helped me out. It's what I've learned. Like, I've only won, I've only won 175 games, so I'm not pro at all. But I know what I'm doing. I've watched a lot of stuff. I've watched hours of stuff. And I've played quite a lot of so far. Okay, so, but I definitely hope you take some of this on board. I hope you enjoy the video. Give me a like, subscribe, and look forward to the next video about Hearthstone. Thank you very much. I've been Dragon King. I'll see you later.